What's up, guys? This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday. Got a lot I want to get into. Obviously, the schedule, the regular season schedule for 2022 has been released. We know who the opponents are going to be, what order they're going to be in, and what the dates are going to be. And so we're going to go over it. We're going to do a quick schedule. We're going to do a schedule overview. Um, and I guess I kind of want to I don't necessarily want to start with that. I guess the one thing I do want to definitely start with is, obviously James Bradbury, cornerback James Bradbury. We knew the Philadelphia Eagles need secondary help. We know that there were rumors that the Eagles were going to be interested in James Bradbury. Maybe they're playing the waiting game right now, like they did with Steven Nelson last year. But James Bradbury is still a free agent, still out there, still unsigned. So we'll have to see what happens. I think the Eagles have a shot if the days continue to go by. AJ Styles, welcome to the chat today, my man. Happy Friday. How you doing? What's good? What's good? What's good? So I think that if the Eagles can bring in James Bradbury, I think that that's going to be huge for the secondary, and it's gonna play an integral part in our conversation when it that we're going to have when it comes to the schedule in just a few minutes. Um, so yeah, I mean, obviously the Philadelphia Eagles, just recapping, they added pieces to their front seven. The front seven has the potential to be really, really good. Obviously with the additions of Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, a three down linebacker, kind of everything that you want out of the linebacker position. I think he's going to be huge. An alpha presence at the middle linebacker position that we haven't had in a long, long time. Going to be able to get people lined up. I think that's going to be really exciting. I honestly think that he's going to come in. He's going to make huge strides during training camp. He's going to win the starting job, and we're gonna see what he can do from the very, very get go. AJ Styles says, "Go Philadelphia Eagles, go Eagles, baby, go Eagles." King Miro, welcome to the chat today, my dude. Happy Friday. King says, "Bro, the Cowboys fans are so delusional. It's so funny. These mofo's are saying they are going 12-5 again and beat the Eagles twice." I mean, look, I I agree with you that the Cowboys fans are delusional. I'll agree. I'll agree with that. The Cowboys took a huge step back, but they last year they went 12-5 and they beat the Eagles twice, and so you know I'm gonna sit up here on my podcasting in my podcasting chair and say we gotta change the tides. We gotta give them something different. We gotta beat them so that they can shut their mouths. You know what I'm saying? So, but hey, schedule came out. Week 1, we played the Detroit Lions away in Detroit. What a great what a great season opener, right? Again, on paper, for face, if I'm taking it for face value, we should absolutely decimate the Detroit Lions. And it leads us into a conversation. The conversation that I kind of want to have is, each head coach, whenever they're going in to coach an NFL team, they develop their trademark, right? Like Andy Reid had, his ability to create plays, very creative. Nick Sirianni has the ability to be a really good play caller based off of balance. We have the great offensive line, we have the great running back room, and now we've added some pieces in the passing game. So, I think that if he doesn't get away from the fact that we run the ball really well, when we run the ball, we can beat some good teams. We can beat a lot of teams in this league. But I do believe that we will walk away with a win in week 1 against the Detroit Lions, and that leads us to week 2, our home opener against the Minnesota Vikings. For me, guys, I think this is going to be the first big test for the defense to see what the defense is going to be made of. Obviously, you're going to have Dalvin Cook at the running back position. You're going to have Kirk Cousins. Now, I know that we don't necessarily think highly of Kirk Cousins all the time, but he is a quarterback that can get the job done, and he has Justin Jefferson to throw the ball to. So I think that this is going to be the very first big test for the defense. Can they stop playmakers? Can they stop an offense that does have playmakers on the other side? I can see the Eagles winning that game. Close game, good game, but I see the Eagles going 2-0. Not gonna lie. King says, I just want them to keep that same energy when we face them. Oh, the Cowboys fans? No, they won't. The Cowboys fans, here's the thing about Cowboys. They're delusional and they're also flaky. They're delusional. They're flaky within their own delusion. So, and it wasn't always so much so that way. Like they used to back it up. They used to back it up really, 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 really well. And maybe it's I don't know, so many years of not getting further in the playoffs than they have, and maybe that's made them jaded a little bit. I don't really know, in their subconscious minds. I don't really know, but I don't have an explanation for Cowboys fans. I don't have an explanation for Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan. Why would I have an explanation for Cowboys fans? AJ Styles says, when is the first game? The first game is September 11th. September 11th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time against the Detroit Lions. And then we get a little bit of a break, honestly. We get a little bit of a break because week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings, our home opener, is Monday night primetime game. So we get a little bit. We get a day. Get an extra day. King says they love to flex their 5 little ring pops too. Cowboys fans? Yeah, well, they haven't been. Unfortunately, they can flex the 5 rings all they want. They haven't been to a Super Bowl in what? Near going on 30 years now. So I'm not too worried about it. Hillary Cummings, Mom, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. I love you. One love. Everybody say hi to my mom. She's awesome. She's visiting my brother in Boston right now. So say hi to my brother as well, and my nephew and my sister-in-law. So guys, big game though in week 3. Guess who we face in week 3? The Washington Commanders, quarterbacked by Carson Wentz. So we're going to be visiting Washington in week 3 to take on the Washington Commanders. This isn't a game that I can easily say is a win. I don't know how Carson is going to do in Washington. I think that Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry, as we know, is his nickname, is probably one of the best wide receivers he's had since Alshon Jeffrey, maybe the best wide receiver he's had since he's had Alshon Jeffrey in 2017. I think that Scary Terry is a better wide receiver than Alshon Jeffrey. So I mean, they have some playmakers in Washington, and the defense obviously had a down year for Washington last year. I think that Washington could shock some people. I just hope that it doesn't lead to a Washington Commanders win over the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to say this. This is how much faith I have in our rookie linebacker, Nakobe Dean, and our rookie defensive lineman, Jordan Davis, and what they're going to bring to the Philadelphia Eagles defense. I am going to say that we're absolutely going to flummox Carson Wentz in Week 3, and it's going to lead to it's going to lead to a 3-0 start for the Philadelphia Eagles during this for the season. Hillary Cummings says, "Love you too." AJ Styles says hi to Hillary. King says hi, DB's mom. We love him too. Oh, thanks, King. Love you too, brother. Toxic Falcons, my dude. Welcome to the chat today, my man. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. What's good? What's good, my dude? So far we're off to a 3-0 start. But I'll be honest. I think Week 2 and Week 3 are going to be difficult. I think Carson's gonna put up a struggle for us, and I also think that Week 2 against the Vikings is going to be a big test for this defense. See what they're actually really, really made of. Again, I think that Howie Roseman really needs to add to the secondary, and we talked about adding cornerback James Bradbury earlier. I love the fact that they want to do the competition with the younger cornerbacks for the second cornerback spot. I love that. I love the potential of cornerback Tay Gowan, who we acquired in the trade with Zach Ertz. I love the acquisition of cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. From Denver. And I also love the two new undrafted rookie free agents we just signed, because I honestly had I had draftable grades on them heading into the draft, which was Mario Goodrich and then also Josh Jobe out of Alabama, Mario Goodrich out of Clemson. But so I think that we got some good players. Me personally, I have no faith in Zeke McPherson, whatever you want to say his name. I don't have faith in that guy. I just don't. King says Washington does not have an O-line, though I feel bad for Carson plus Hassan running up. Right. Tox Falcon says we traded for Bryan Edwards. I saw that. Bryan Edwards is a good wide receiver, a little bit undervalued, but he's a good wide receiver. We'll see what you guys can do with him. Tox Falcon says week 1 and 2 are going to be hard for us. Who do you guys play in week 1 and week 2? I do not know who the Falcons are playing in week 1 and week 2. Hillary says, who is McPherson? Zach McPherson is a cornerback that we drafted in the 4th round last year, who's hasn't really done much, didn't really live up to what we thought he could be, but showed some flashes in training camp. But when his name was called upon throughout the season, whether it be due to injury or whether it be due to other things, he just didn't look well. He looked lost. Toxic Falcon says Saints and Rams. Yeah, those are going to be two tough. Yeah, those are going to be two tough games for you guys. This is going to be two tough games for the Falcons. Saints, I mean, that's a crapshoot in my opinion. I think you guys could maybe take that game. To be honest, we don't know how the Saints are going to be without Sean Payton. And Alvin Kamara is going to be out for the season, so gotta remember they're gonna not only are they losing a head coach, and regardless of what you think of Dennis Allen, losing a guy like Sean Payton, and losing a running back like Alvin Kamara does also this. It causes your team to lose a little bit of chemistry. So the Eagles play the Saints, and Jalen Hurts owns the Saints. They play him later in the season, this season, and I have that chalked up as a win because Jalen Hurts does such a good job against the Saints. King says, "Oh, Saints got Jarvis." Saints did sign Jarvis Landry today. They did do that. I did see that. But are we really concerned? Are we really worried about that? I mean, Jarvis Landry is an old, aging wide receiver. Yeah, can he still get the first downs for you? Sure. But, he's not what he once was. Tox Falcon says, I still don't see Ritter starting this season. We'll see. We'll see how the season goes. We will see how the season goes. That's for sure. But anyway, after week 3, guys, Doug Peterson makes his appearance back in Philadelphia with the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 4. Guys, I think that obviously I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this because I don't think the Jaguars are really, I think they're going to be better with Doug Peterson. I think they had a great draft. But I don't think that they're close to actually competing on a playoff level. But I want to know your take on this. Are you going to give a standing ovation if you were at the stadium, if you were at the game for Jacksonville versus the Philadelphia Eagles? Would you give a standing ovation for Doug Peterson? I think I would. I got to be completely honest with you. Like, coach of the Philadelphia Eagles that won the Super Bowl for us. So, Tox Falcon says an Alvin Kamara will be suspended. He will be suspended for the full season. I thought they already decided that. Hillary says they said on radio show today that Doug will get a big welcome in Philly. He should. Yeah, I believe he will. Andy Reid got a big welcome when he came back to Philadelphia for the first time as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, Andy had a longer tenure in Philadelphia, but Doug won the big game. Doug won the big game. Donovan got a standing ovation, I believe, when he came back as a Redskin. There were a few things. I definitely think Doug is going to get a standing ovation. I don't think, I wouldn't expect anything less. Toxic Falcon says Doug better get some cheers. Hillary says yes. Toxic, I agree. AJ says preseason Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, you want to talk about it? It's probably the easiest preseason schedule I think I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, let me bring it up real quick. Yeah, we got the New York Jets, we got the Cleveland Browns, and then we got the Miami Dolphins. The New York Jets on August 12th, the Cleveland Browns on August 21st, and the Miami Dolphins on August 27th. Now, the only kicker here, obviously, is the Miami Dolphins trading for Tyreek Hill, which adds a dynamic playmaker to the Miami Dolphins offense. But, Tua Tagovailoa is not Patrick Mahomes. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't think Tyreek Hill is going to be as effective as he was with Patrick Mahomes, but we'll see. We'll see. It is going to be the preseason, so we'll see. Hillary says Donovan now coaches a girls softball team here in Arizona. Yeah, well, he's always resided here in Arizona. King says I just can't wait to see AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Oh, I think it's gonna be awesome. To be completely honest with you. And like I said, I mean, the main thing is, even though you have that extra playmaker in the passing game in AJ Brown, it's gonna be really important to see if Nick Sirianni remembers to be balanced. Because the running game, when they decide to run the ball behind that offensive line, is really, really good. One of the best run games in the league. We know that. So, but anyway, going into week 5. Let's go into week 5. Week 5, we get the Arizona Cardinals. So far, just for taking it for face value, I got a couple tough games in there, but I think taking it for face value, the Eagles can win their first 4. I'm not being biased. I'm just saying they can win their first 4. But week 5, they get the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Obviously, Kyler Murray has a new toy in Marquise Brown. And I think that's going to be the first loss of the season for the Philadelphia Eagles. I think it's going to be too much for the defense to handle. King says, "Well, Jalen is a playmaker in my book, so I'm not worried." It's going to be this season is going to be greatly contingent on how big of a jump Jalen can make. So we'll just the only thing that we can do is pin our ears back and hope for the best, honestly. Tox Falcon says maybe someone like AJ Brown can show if Jalen can cut it at QB. Well, no, that is it. That is it. AJ Brown or Jalen Hurts has no excuses with adding the player like AJ Brown and having Devontae Smith going into year 2 and all the playmakers that he has, Dallas Goedert, This is Jalen Hurts. This is Jalen Hurts' final audition year. He has to do something. And what that something is, win a playoff game, pass the eye test. For me, I think it's passing the eye test. Looking like you progressed, and winning a playoff game, getting the playoffs, making progress, comparatively to the year prior. But let's go into this. Week 5, I think the Eagles are going to lose to the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. I think that the Arizona Cardinals offense is going to be too much for the defense to handle, even with the suspension of DeAndre Hopkins. Rondale Moore is no joke. Adding Hollywood Brown is no joke. So, big money there. And then after that, guys, week 6. Guess who we get at home? Guess who we got at home? The Dallas Cowboys. So I haven't made up my mind on this yet. I haven't made up my mind on this game yet. The Cowboys clearly took a step back. Obviously, this offseason, they clearly took a step back. The Eagles took a huge step forward. I think the Washington Commanders took a huge step forward. The Giants, they had a good draft. But anytime the Eagles play the Cowboys, it's always filled with anxiety, right? I think the Eagles could win this game at home against the Cowboys, but over the past few years, we've been stagnant against the Cowboys. So, am I a bit worried? I mean, not right now. It's May, but we'll see. I'll have to decide once we get to that point. But so as of right now, I'm gonna say that it's a win for the Philadelphia Eagles because they're at home. So the Eagles start off this season 5-1, going into their bye. Talks Falcon says, I say getting back to the playoffs. I agree. Talks Falcons because the Eagles team is better than last year's team. Yeah, they are. King says cowgirls. Yeah, cowgirls, right. Hillary says, don't say cowgirls, that's sexist. Yeah. King says, oh, sorry, fraud boys. Okay. There we go. There we go. But it's in the history. It's in the history, unfortunately, to call the Cowboys cowgirls. So yeah, I have the Eagles starting off 5-1. The following week, they go into week 7, and it's going to be their bye week. Guys, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty fucking good, honestly. You know, in week 8, coming out of the bye, we get the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. I think that's a win because nobody knows what the hell the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to do. I honestly think Mike Tomlin is going to start Kenny Pickett, to be completely honest with you, and I think that they're going to go through some growing pains. So I think that we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers coming out of the bye, going 6-1. We're just going to brush through this real quick. In week 9, the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Texans. We're 7-1 at this point. In week 10, we play the Washington Commanders again. I think that we beat Carson Wentz again at Lincoln Financial Field at home. Eagles are 8-1. Indianapolis Colts in week 11 with Matt Ryan and Frank Reich coming into town. I think the Eagles lose. They go 8-2. Week 12, Aaron Rodgers coming into Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles lose. They go 8-3. Week 13, the Titans come into Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles win because Ryan Tannehill without AJ Brown, who is now on the Philadelphia Eagles, thank you very much, is no match. Eagles is no match for the Philadelphia Eagles offense. They can't keep up. The Philadelphia Eagles are 9-3. At MetLife Stadium against the New York Giants. In week 14, the Eagles win. In week 15, against the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field, the Eagles win 11-3. Week 16, the Dallas Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. We lose. We're 11-4. No, sorry. I lost track. I lost track of what I was saying. So many numbers in such a short period of time. I apologize. Either way, I think the Eagles are going to go either 12-5 or 13-4. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding with you. Not even kidding. I'm looking at 12 wins. Let's see. Let's finish that up right now. They lose to the Cowboys in week 16 at AT&T Stadium, so they split with the Cowboys. They beat the Saints. They beat the Saints in week 17 at home because Jalen Hurts owns the Saints. And then week 18 is to be decided against the New York Giants. The time is to be decided, but it's at home at Lincoln Financial Field. The Eagles sweep the Giants. I'm looking at a really good schedule here, guys. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. King says, Cowboys are coming up on 28 years, no Super Bowl appearance. Yeah. King says, funny thing too is that the Cowboys can go 18-0 and still lose in the playoffs. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. So let me count this real quick. How did I do this? Because I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I counted 13 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. 13 wins for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like I said, 12 to 13 wins. 12 to 13 wins. King says, but I agree. I see us winning 11 to 12 games. Yeah. And honestly, where that extra game comes from in my prediction is I have a sweeping Washington. So that's the thing. And maybe we don't. Maybe Carson Wentz like plays really, really well and we don't sweep Washington. And that's going to be fine. Look, we know what Carson is capable of, but you know, the Eagles have a really favorable schedule. So we can say this: 11 to 13 wins. I think that's fair. And they win the NFC East. Hillary says, "Mama heading out. Good night, y'all." Good night, Mom. I think it's 10:21. I think it's almost 10:30 where she is. So the Toxic Falcons is in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure it's 10:30 where he is too. King says, "Good night, DB's mom." Thank you all for being so kind and welcoming to my mom. I appreciate that. But yeah, guys, we gotta add to this secondary. I honestly think that it's gonna be a real shame if we don't add to the secondary, before the season starts, because I think that the front seven is going to show a lot of improvement, and I think that we can do some serious damage if we get an upgraded piece in the secondary. Howie needs to do something. I think that the the competitive difference between what we can do without that upgraded secondary piece as opposed to what we can do with that upgraded secondary piece is vast. So I think that we need to go out and grab one. But guys, I appreciate you guys joining in, and I just wanted to jump on here and go over the schedule with you guys because it's pretty exciting that it was released just the other day, and I'm looking forward to it. And there's a lot to be excited about with this team this year. Nakobe Dean, right? He's at the forefront of every conversation. Jordan Davis, AJ Brown. We got a lot to be excited about. But anyway, DB talking now, DB talking Birds, DB talking Philadelphia Eagles. One love. Stay safe, stay healthy. One love, and go Birds, guys. Peace.